Boker Tov, my friends in the Pilzno community and the world at large. This is Dr. Bekermus, holistic health practitioner, and we are continuing our series on holistic health. We were talking about the word shine, standing for sleep, hormones, infections, nutrition, and exercise. And we were almost completing the hormone section. Last week we talked about the adrenal glands and how important that is for our ability to respond and react to stress and to not have anxiety, panic, sleeplessness, etc. This week we're going to start talking about the hormone insulin. So we have a pancreas that's in the lower left quadrant of our abdomen, sort of like under the stomach and next to the spleen. The pancreas has two parts, a tail and a head. They're both important. One part of the pancreas produces enzymes, pancreatic enzymes, and that's very important. But what we're talking about tonight is the part of the pancreas where the aisles of Langerhans produce a chemical called insulin. Now, insulin is the response to sugar, and sugar in our bodies is called glucose. When we eat many foods like vegetables and carbohydrates and fruits, etc., they break down to glucose, which is the energy source of our body. Now, we could say that much of the illness and disease on our planet is not caused by sugar per se, but by insulin. So you can imagine how important this hormone insulin is in our overall health. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, obesity, for an example, would be the cause of heart disease, stroke, diabetes, then a little bit indirectly Alzheimer's, so mental dementia, etc. So when we eat simple carbohydrates like sugar or white flour, so if we can put our finger on two of the most harmful foods on our planet, it would be white refined sugar and white refined flour, wheat. Now we mentioned maybe, but I'll reiterate that white wheat in most of the civilized Western world has been adulterated since the mid-1960s. It's called modern wheat or dwarf wheat. They changed not only the size, but the actual chemical content in the wheat has been drastically changed. There are some 50 times more gluten and agglutinates and phthalates. So wheat alone would be contributing to much of the disease on our planet. And it's hard to find any original God's wheat left on this planet because it's all been hybridized or modernized. Now, 2 slices of whole wheat bread have a higher glycemic index, meaning a major sugar rush, a bigger sugar rush into our bloodstream than 2 tablespoons of white sugar. Now, an alternative is still spelt, which is an ancient grain and hasn't been adulterated. But we should not be eating any white wheat whatsoever. And of course, sugar as well. Now, just to sum up for today, in the early 1900s, the average male adult in America consumed about 25 pounds of sugar a year. That's when Coca-Cola was invented, became an issue, and soft drinks, etc. And Domino sugar, refined sugar, became much more popular. The last time this was evaluated in, I think, about 2011, it's been a while, but the average adult in America consumes 140 pounds of sugar a year. In Eretz Yisrael, it's about the same. I would say pachot o yoter. So that, again, diabetes and heart disease and cancer and arthritis and kind of you name it is caused by these incredibly unbalanced chemicals in our system like white sugar and white flour. So that should not be in our houses. We should not be buying candy for our children, and we should never buy Coca-Cola or soft drinks, whether Shabbat, Oneg Shabbat or not. So thank you for listening, and we will continue to talk about the insulin response in the pancreas next week, and then we'll move on to the reproductive hormones, which will finish this part of the SHINE acronym for health. Have a great day, everybody.